All right, just when you didn't think the math could get any more challenging, this is Math Base 1086, Base 8. All right, we're going to cover pages 28 through 31, converting decimal numbers, which is base 10, into the base 8, which are also called octal. You know, an octagon or an octave has 8, so an octal number is base 8. And let's look at what that means. If we did this kind of a chart, the first place value would be ones, okay? All the way up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. When we add 1 to the 7, it would make it a 1, 0. So the number 8 in base 10 is actually the number 10 in base 8. Wow, that's confusing. All right. Then let's say I do 12, okay? So that would be 1, 8 plus 4 of the ones. So base 8. 8 plus 4 is 12. All right. Let's take the number 68 in standard numbers, okay? That would be like 1, 64, none of the 8s, okay? And then I would have 4 of the 1s, or the 8 to the 0 power, okay? And of course I should put the base 8 there so we know it's an octal number. Let's go this direction now. Let's take the number 242 and figure out what that would be. So I put a 2 here, a 4 here, a 2 here. Where's my eraser? Here we go. I'm going to get this out of the way so I can write right here in front of the camera. 2 at 64. So that's going to be 64 plus 64. 4 of the 8s. So I could do 8 plus 8 plus 8 plus 8, but let's multiply it and get 32. And then 2 times 1, all right? And then we can add these. 8 plus 2 is 10, plus 2 is 12. And then we have 12, 13, 16, okay? So it'd be this would be 162 in base 10. I got this big number here, 1236, base 8. So 12, make this a 3, and this is 6. And so to turn it into base 10, we'll take 512, 2 of the 64s, I'm going to do that in my head and get 128, 3 at 8, which is 24, and then the 6. And then we can add these. 4 plus 6 is 10. 8 plus 2 is 10, so we have 20. Carry the 2. 2, 4, 6, 7. And then 5 plus 1 is 6. So this would be the number 670 in base 10. All right? Do you understand that? All right? You could stop right here if you want. Just pause the video and do the first page where all you're doing is converting from base 8 to base 10. I'm going to just take a minute here and talk about converting the other direction now, and that is from the base 10 into the base 8. Let's take a number like 50. The PACE explains it this way, and it's in a way it's a shortcut way. It doesn't help you understand it. It does give you the answer, so it's a procedure to follow that if you just learn the procedure and follow it, you will get the right answer. And that is we keep dividing by 8. So 8 divided into 50, well, 6 times 8 is 48, okay? And then we bring down the remainder, which is 10 minus 8 is 2. And then they say the procedure is you take the remainder. You ignore the rest of this for now. Just take the remainder and put it in the last column, okay? Now we're going to go back in step 2, take the number that's on top, the quotient, and divide that by 8. Well, 6 divided by 8 is 0, okay? And we bring down the 6. So that means we have 6 in the remainder. So again, the remainder is what goes in the next column. Now let's just check it and see how this works. This is telling me that I have 6 8s. What is 6 times 8? 48. And then 2 times 1 is 2. 48 plus 2 is indeed 50. Okay, so it works. It's a relatively easy procedure to go through. Let's do it with a bigger number like 147, okay? We're going to divide by 8. 8 goes once into 14. Subtract, and I get 6. Bring down the 7. 8 goes into 67. 8 times, because 8 times 8 is 64. 7 minus 4 is 3. All right, once I get to the end here and I have a remainder, the remainder goes in this column. Okay? Now I'll take the quotient, 18. Divide that by 8. 8 goes into 18 twice, 16. Subtract, and I get 2. The remainder is what I'm looking at. The remainder goes in this column. Last step is I take the 2, the quotient, divide that by 8. Here's where I get 0 and bring down the remainder of 2, and so that goes in that column. Let's just check it real quick. 2 times 64 is, we're going to do this right here, 128. Okay? 2 times 8 is 16. 3 times 1, okay? And then let's add these and see what we get. 14 plus 3 is 7. Carry the 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1. That was what we started with, 147, okay? And we ended up, by checking it, getting 147 again. So it's the process is not the same as anything we've done with anything else. This is called an algorithm, okay? A procedure to follow, and when you follow that procedure, you get the answer even though you don't understand why, okay? Don't worry about that. Just follow the procedure, okay? And you will get the right answer. I would suggest that you maybe write the procedure down on a little 3x5 card and hold on to that, and maybe your supervisor or parent might let you refer to that when you do the checkup or self-test, because you are not going to use this in real life. The real thing they're doing here is get some practice following an algorithm and just being aware that there are these other number systems out there and they can be manipulated. Mainly these number systems are used in computer science. And so if you think you might be at all interested in going into some field with computer science, some teens think they want to go into programming of computer games, things like that, whatever. And it is a wide open field. There is a great need in the computer industry for programmers, and you may have to get into using base 8 and base 2 in order to really be effective in that. Anyways, I hope these videos have helped you, and check your answers against the score key. And if you have any questions, check with your mom or your supervisor, and maybe not mom. Check with dad or the supervisor and see if you can figure it out.